Welcome to Queries Part 2. In the first screencast I prepared, I walked through the two queries you needed to use to calculate the revenue per store. Now what I'm going to show you is the second piece of this, which is going to be the start of calculating cost of goods sold. We can recall from accounting classes that the cost of goods sold is a function of the beginning inventory plus anything that you add to it, anything you take away from it that isn't sold, and then the ending inventory. Whatever's left over is your cost of goods sold. So it's a simple algebraic equation. Now we're just going to walk through the first two queries to calculate beginning inventory, or the value or the cost of the beginning inventory. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to create a beginning inventory cost Q1. That's your detail. And so I'm going to open it up in design view. And so here we see that we pull in the inventory table and the physical inventory count table. And again, we did that because we went to create, we did query design, and then chose those tables to be included in our query. Then what we did is we selected store number from the physical inventory count. We chose inventory number from the physical inventory count. We chose quantity on hand beginning from physical inventory count, and we took the beginning cost from the inventory account. Then we created a calculated field, okay? And you use Builder. So I'm in Design. I go to Builder. Cancel. Got to be in that cell. There we go. And so what I do is I create something called beginning value. So it's beginning value colon open bracket quantity on hand QOH beginning, that's one of your fields, times, you use the star symbol for the multiplication, and then you have open bracket beginning cost, and then close. Make sure you always open and close the brackets around your fields. Okay, so that's a simple multiplication. It's going to take the quantity at the beginning times the cost at the beginning, and then when you hit run, this is what you'll get. You'll get all your detail. And then of course I clicked on totals here so that I could get the total to show up down here. Alright, you may have to adjust the width of your column to be able to see the number. Okay, so but this only gets us part of the way there, and this is where I'm going to diverge a little from what I said in class. Looking at the publisher's material, they seem to indicate that only one table was going to be necessary. That was not accurate. You do need two tables for beginning inventory. So this is just the detail. We will then need to create a second beginning inventory query that will get us the rest of the way in terms of seeing what the total beginning inventory by store happened to be. Now I want to go back to design view for a second. If you ever want to format a field, because like originally my beginning value was not formatted, it was just coming in as number, and so I opened up the property sheet, and what you can do is when you're inside one of these, you just right click and go down and select properties, and then this little window over here will open up and you'll have choices. And so under format I selected currency, and I selected 2 decimal places. This is also a place where you can set up input masks for like phone numbers and anything else you might want an input mask for. You can add captions and also have descriptions, and there's other functions called lookup functions, which we won't talk about right now. But there's a lot of power in these property sheets. So we can click to go back to datasheet view. And so next, what we have to do is, and I've already created this, I'm going to open it up in design view. This is going to be our next query. So first, we choose beginning inventory cost Q1, which was the query that we just ran, and then we've got the stores table. So we choose those two items to bring in when we create this query. So one table, and then the one query. And down here we take store number from the stores table, we group by it, and we want to show it. Now here we right click to get the total line here. You have to right click to get the total line to show up, and then you select the group by. Secondly, we want an expression. We create something called beginning inventory, which is equal to beginning value. Okay, beginning value is what we created in the previous query. And so we're going to rename it beginning inventory. And we want to sum it. And we do the same thing. We set it up as currency with 2 decimal places. And so when you click run, you get the beginning inventory by store. And the total should match what you had in the detailed run. Okay? So this video is a little shorter. It's to correct what I told you in class about not needing the second query. You really do need the second query, because it's this query here, the income statement beginning inventory query, that you will use when you calculate cost of goods sold. And it's the income statement queries beginning with revenue, cost of goods sold, and the other ones you'll produce later to actually calculate what income per store is. So that should be it for now. Again, if anybody has any questions, even though we're on spring break, you can email me. It may take me a little bit longer to get back to you, but I certainly will get back to you. Thanks very much, and I hope this helps you out.